So, hi Chris, why are you here at the Festival of Marketing? Some an odd choice, perhaps?
In order to get into the Guinness book, it means that you've done something that is sort of right on the edge of the human experience, right? Something that has pushed back the level of what we've achieved in the past. As an astronaut, I've been lucky enough to do several things that sort of fit into that category. And so I was invited by the folks at the Festival of Marketing to come and talk about how do you do that? How do you get yourself in a position to push the edges of our capability? And then how do you prepare yourself? And then how do you make the most of it? What do you learn from it? So I'm here as an invited speaker, but also here delighted to receive an award from Guinness.
Do you think there's a connection between the Guinness World Records achievement about being the best at something and what you do and why you're here? What is it about what you do that makes you the best in the world?
I think in human nature, we respond well to a challenge. You know, if someone says to you, I can jump that, I can jump over that thing, I could lift that rock, I could, if you and I ran from here to that tree, I'd beat you. It raises just a fundamental response within each of us that is just basic human nature, so that you might run faster in your life than you ever had for no more greater purpose than the straight raw competition of it. It's just primordial to who we are. And so I think by having a book like the Guinness World Record book, it helps measure the best of us. And with that, if you're a young person, it challenges maybe to do something that otherwise you never would have attempted, a self-betterment that you might never have tried to turn yourself into. So I think challenge is a wonderful thing to have in life, and like everyone else on the planet, I have read through the Guinness book and looked and been amazed by some of the things people have accomplished.
All your life you've set out to be where you are right now, it seems. You're very focused, and so what does it take to be you? If I want to be you, I'm probably too old now, but if I was a 12-year-old reading our book, how would I be Chris Hadfield?
I think the most important thing is to give yourself a long-term goal that you think is probably impossible, but give yourself that goal, recognizing that it's probably never going to happen. Like maybe saying, I want to climb Mount Everest. I want to climb the highest 6 peaks in the world. And say, that's, to me, that's really important. Or I want to invent a valve that will allow someone who has a heart attack to survive. Or I want to be able to do surgery on an eyeball so that a blind person can see. Whatever. Give yourself some goal in life that is right on the edge of impossible. Because even though you may not climb all those peaks or invent that thing, the choices you're going to make in pursuit of that goal will actually change who you are. And you will be pursuing something that is in your heart. And in my case, I just said, I want to walk on the moon. I want to be an astronaut who walks on the moon. And I never have. But it allowed me then to choose the things I was going to do that led me through a life that has absolutely fascinated me and brought things out of me that I never would have otherwise been able to do, and also allowed me to see and understand things that would have been denied me otherwise. So I think that's the real core of it, is to challenge yourself, not define yourself by that final success, but use it as the long-term lure that allows you to pursue and succeed at things on a daily basis.
I thought I had the best job in the world. You have a very good job, I think.
I think if you feel like you have the best job in the world, then you're a lucky man.
Okay. And I've got one question about spacewalks, because we're doing spacewalks in the next book.
Great.
You went blind. You were blinded by one of your spacewalks.
I was.
What's that experience? One, of just stepping out for the first time, which must be quite an experience, and then two, to then have that problem of going blind.
Doing spacewalks is extremely dangerous, and it's extremely hard. And so it's something we don't take lightly. We prepare for extensively. And like anything that you've prepared for years and years and years and years, that also has an element of danger to it. When the moment comes, it's kind of your whole focus, And so when that moment comes and you're in your pressurized suit and you turn the big handle and you lift the hatch out of the way, you grab onto the sides, and you pull yourself out into the universe. It's kind of your whole life in a moment, and it doesn't disappoint. You go from this tiny, confined, little claustrophobic airlock to suddenly being completely free in the universe, where you're not even of the earth anymore. You are going through the universe with the world. and your whole link is just with one hand. So it's a magnificent personal experience. It's wondrous. When I was outside, there was contamination in my suit that first got in one eye, so that my eye stopped working. But I figured maybe that's why we have two eyes. So I kept working for a while. But eventually, it got so bad that it contaminated my other eye, and then I was blind in my spacesuit outside on a spacewalk. But because of all the years of preparation and the seriousness with which we'd prepared, I wasn't overwhelmed by it. I wasn't panicked by it. It was just like, okay, I can't see, but I can still feel, I can hear, I can talk, I can breathe. How am I going to solve this problem? And I could have just called for help from my other spacewalker, Scott Perezinski, and he could have led me like a balloon and stuffed me into the airlock. But fortunately, my eyes cried and teared enough that it diluted the contamination, and after a while I could sort of begin to see again. Only took about a half hour, and then I could see again. But it was a very kind of introspective time to be holding on to a spaceship blind during my first spacewalk. Fortunately, it turned out okay.
Well, so thank you very much. Again, it's an honour to finally meet you, and thank you for being a part of our book and inspiring, I think, generations of kids to come with everything that you've done.
Thank you for doing me the honour of including me in your book. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
Cheers.